Hello, welcome to Crafting with Lee. Today I'm going to make this large nautical theme wreath. These are the supplies I'm going to use to make this wreath. I don't use the wood cutouts or the paint. And as you can see, I'm going to use a work wreath form. I realized I hadn't actually done a video using one before, so I just wanted to show you how to use it. I'm going to start by cutting my mesh at 30 inches. There are 18 ties on the work wreath form, so I need 9 of each color. This mesh is actually two different sizes. The white is 10 inches and the blue is 12 inches. It won't make a difference once I put it on the actual wreath. I just really like these colors with the ribbons. And you don't need this cutting thing to cut your mesh. You can use a rotary cutter or just scissors, whatever you have. I just found that at a flea market. Alright, I'm going to start by creating a ruffle with my mesh. I'm doing the ruffle method with this one. I'm going to alternate colors in each tie. And with the work wreath form, I like to start on the inside. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't really make a difference. And then you just twist it once. And I curl the beginning, and then I bunch it together, kind of like an accordion. And at the end, I curl just the very end under. It just, to me, looks nicer. And it kind of looks like a bow tie when you're done. And then when you're adding it to the wreath frame, you'll want to fluff them against each other so it keeps the wreath nice and full. I'm going to show you a trick right here. If you lay something heavy on your mesh as you're creating the ruffle, it makes it a lot easier. It doesn't roll up on you. Because once you get to the bottom of the roll of mesh, it gets super curly. And you'll do the outside ties the same way you do the inside. Just when you're fluffing them, you'll have to fluff left to right and up and down. And it really makes a difference in how full your wreath looks. So there's none just pushed down to the bottom. I'm just going around and putting all of the mesh on the outside. Alright, this is the ribbon I chose to use. One's cream and navy, and the other's white with navy border and blue anchors. I wasn't sure if they were going to work together because of the cream and the white, but I really like the way it turned out. And I'm going to cut my ribbon at 12 inches, so I'm just going to use my ruler. I need 18 pieces, so I'm not going to wrap this around 18 times. That would be too thick, and the ribbon wouldn't actually come out to be 12 inches at that point. I'm just doing 6, so I'm going to do 6 3 times. And then I just trim that off evenly. I feed my scissors through the top, cut that, and then I remove the ruler and cut the other side, and I end up with 6 perfect 12-inch pieces of ribbon. It saves so much time. Now I'm going to go through and cut all the ribbon I need. And I'm going to dovetail the ends, so I'm just going to fold it in half, and then fold those in half again, and cut away from myself. And I'm going to do that with all the ribbons. You can see I stacked the ribbons 2 by 2, just so it's easier to put them on the wreath. I'm just going to fold it in half, and then pinch at the crease. And I'm going to open my tie. I don't actually do it here, but you need to twist it 3 times before you finish off the tie. I'm not sure why I didn't do it 3 times, but to finish this kind of tie, you can either curl it down, you can leave it sticking out. I am actually going to push it to the back and then just twist it around itself. You can still kind of see it, but it's not in your face. Here you can see real well. I open the tie, add the ribbon, and then I'll twist 3 times. And then tuck around to the back. This frame was so big I couldn't really turn it over to show you without hitting my camera. You can see right here that I mess up a little bit and I do my ribbons the wrong way. The reason I like to do them where they are opposite each other is I just think it looks better like that. But you could do it like this if you wanted. I just like the X that it creates. It's really pretty to me. You get a little bit of color from each side. Alright, I played around with this. I thought I was going to do a sign, so I painted a lot. You can see the paint on my hands. I didn't like the way the sign turned out. It was too small for this size of a wreath, so I'm just going to save it. But I really like the way it turned out with just the bow. I'm using my bow dabra. I'm going to do 5.5-inch loops for the bottom. I'm doing 2 on each side. And then with the next ribbon, I'm going to do 5-inch loops. You just make sure you twist it in the middle so the pretty side's always up. Even when you have ribbon that's two-sided, it's still nice to have the twist in the middle. It keeps it really tight. I thought I was going to do 3 loops on each side, but I actually wanted to make tails, so I didn't have enough left over. So I do go back and fix it and just do 2 loops on each side. Alright, I'm just going to trim that off. Since I have my ruler handy, I'm going to use it to push the bow down. I found this blue burlap ribbon in my stash and I'm going to add it to the bow. And I'm only going to do 1 loop on each side of this ribbon. And I do that at 4.5 loops. And then I do 1 center loop. I think I did it at about 3 inches here, but I actually go back and make it smaller, so I always suggest doing it at 2 inches. It just seemed too big. All of these loose pieces of ribbon, I go back and trim them later. Don't trim them too small because they might slide through your whatever you have holding your bow. If you see there, I kind of folded it over itself when I was tightening the pipe cleaner. That's just to get a really tight, secure hold on the bow. And now I'm just going to fluff. To make my tails, I'm using the leftover white ribbon that I have. And the cream ribbon, I accidentally cut 2 extra 12-inch pieces. So I hot glued those together to make the tail. And then the blue burlap, I cut it in half to make it a little bit longer. And then I'm just using the scrap piece in the middle to hold it together. I'm going to feed a zip tie through the pipe cleaner I have wrapped around the bow. And then I kind of turn it to center it so I can add my bow and it fits over it perfectly. For some reason it didn't show here, but I add a pipe cleaner into that before I tighten it so I can attach it to my wreath form. So when I'm attaching the bow, I usually mess around about where I want to put it before I attach it, and then I feed it through the mesh around to the back and put it around the 2 center bars and then twist it around itself. Then I'm just going to mess with my bow, and there's my wreath. I hope y'all liked it. Make sure to leave me a comment if you have any questions. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.